This is yesterday. I realised that I never got around to making the energy balls that I mentioned right at the beginning of the vlogs, and I've kept intended to and I kept forgetting, so I'm going to do it now after talking about needing snacks. I'm going to do heavily like peanut butter chocolate kind of flavour because I do have a sweet tooth and that's the sort of thing that I crave. So I'm just having a route through the cupboards and shelves, seeing what I've got. I've got jam jars up here full of nuts and things, and I've got another shelf up on the wall there full of seeds and nuts and things, which is nice when you're putting something together just to grab all the jars. So I've got oats, cocoa powder, I've got chia seeds, cinnamon, some cashew nuts, and this is the blend of seeds that you buy. You can get them in Lidl and Aldi and they're all ground up. So this one I think has got flax seeds and I can't remember, it's sunflower seeds and maybe something fruity. I think there's something red in there, like I can't remember if it's cranberry or something. But these are so good for you. Flax seeds are a really healthy seed. They do wonders for so many things. So I'm going to add those in, and I have just remembered something else. What was it I was going to use? Some dates. I've got these really nice big juicy dates, which are the medjool dates. I'm just going to chop them up. I'll chop my head off. I'm going to chop some up and I'm going to soak them in some boiling water, which will sort of rehydrate them a bit, and it makes them really juicy and squishy and soft, which is going to be perfect for bringing my energy balls together. As you've seen, I've just sort of added quantities and made it up as I've gone along. It's quite an intuitive thing to do. You just basically need to add enough wet ingredients to bind it. I've just given that a bit of a squeeze and it's not come together enough. It's pretty dry still, so I'm just going to add in the rest of the date water for now. And if I need something else, then I'll come back to that in a minute, but I'll pop that in and give it another blitz. Okay, I've just had a little taste and I think it needs a little bit more peanut butter. I know it looks like I've put in a lot of peanut butter, but I am only going to be having one energy ball at a time, like one a day, 2 a day max if I have one like mid-morning and one in the evening. So it's not really about how much I'm putting in overall. It's, if you think about how much I'm going to have per energy ball, it's not a lot of peanut butter each ball. I like to buy the peanut butter that is just nothing but peanuts, no other ingredients, so I know that peanuts are really good for me as well, so I don't worry about that too much. And as you've seen, everything else going in here is completely natural ingredients, nothing processed, and I know exactly what's in here. I'm going to add in a tiny little bit of water just to bring that together. I've got a texture that I'm happy with. I ended up adding a little bit more water to them, but that's fine. In hindsight, I probably could have added another couple of dates in the beginning, and then I would have had more of the date water as well, which was nice and sweet and sticky. So I've got it to a texture where if I just squeeze it, it comes together nicely. I'm making them about that size, which is a little bit bigger than Ferrero Rocher size, I guess, but smaller than a ping pong ball. You can make them whatever size you want, but obviously they are quite filling and quite satisfying, so I know I don't need them to be huge. I blitzed my stuff quite well so that there weren't too many chunky bits in it this time. I think that gives it more of a like a brownie texture, cakey texture, but sometimes I'll leave them chunkier. Just depends what mood I'm in. So happy with that. I'm just going to continue with the rest of my mixture and make it all up into balls.
They were in high school when they met, and things got kinda awkward. With sparks in the air, he would stare at her in class, and she would try to act cool, but it was obvious, like, ooh, they would be together.
That's me used up all of my mixture, and I've got a nice little amount there. They'll be great for taking out as snacks as well, because they work really well in packed lunches, etc. I'm going to pop that in the fridge, and they'll last for a couple of weeks if they're not eaten by then. If the mixture had been wetter, obviously you would need to add more dry ingredients, but if it had been slightly wetter, I would have made them like that and then rolled them in cocoa powder or ground almonds, because if they'd been slightly wetter it would have stuck, whereas these ones, I don't think anything would stick onto those ones, but that's fine. It's just nice for a little change to roll them in something. And if peanut butter is not your jam, you can go online and find lots of other different flavours. I have made like mango and coconut flavour before, or just like a plainer one without any cocoa. And you can use cashew butter if you want like no flavour from the nuts. That's a really bland one. I'm trying to remember what else I've done before. I've done loads, and there's loads of different variations. They're really nice if you use ground almonds in the mixture as well, and maybe something like cranberries, dried cranberries, and then you can roll them in coconut or add coconut. There's so much you can do, but I'm glad that's done now, and I will enjoy one of these with my dinner, my cup of tea after my dinner tonight. And yeah, they'll keep me going for a little while.
As he sang, she started to dance, grabbed his arm and took his hand. He held her close under the moonlight as they kept on dancing. And now they're singing their love song.
Someone has asked me how many balls of wool the large basket holds. And the only balls of wool I've got are these big balls of Decray acrylic, which is what the customer's asked about because that's what she uses. So I've just dug out my stash, which has been tucked away in these pretty boxes and bags. I didn't realise I had such pretty colours in here, but I think I've already taken out the duplicates and put them in the big basket where my big crochet blanket is. So I will have all these colours in my blanket already, but they look so nice together. Luckily, I do still have some full balls so that I could get back to my customer and show that that's 6 in there, and they're full balls. So if you were working on them, obviously, and they get smaller, you'd fit a lot more in, like if you were using scraps or whatever. But just to give anyone else an idea who wants to see the size of the bags, that is them. It's pretty massive. And even when I've got my big scarf in there though, my big huge scarf, which is really chunky, it makes the basket look pretty empty actually. I think because these balls are so big and loose, it really has filled it up. But yeah, you can fit a lot in there. And if you were talking about skeins of yarn, you would fit a lot in there as well. And if you had caked up your skeins of yarn, I reckon you would fit 2 stacked on top of each other, so that would be 12 cakes of yarn if you had them caked up. But yeah, there you go, just sharing that for you in case anyone else was wondering about size, and that is the large basket. This monstera at the front was in that pot. I just dug out a couple of little ones because this one seemed to have like 3 or 4 separate plants in it, so I repotted a couple of them up. One of them's on my sewing room windowsill, which I did showed quite a few times. It's just got a new leaf that's unfurled. This is the new leaf, and it's got its first hole. Monsteras don't get the holes in the leaves until they're 2 to 3 years old, so there's none in the pot already. So I was really excited to see that this one had a hole in it, and this leaf's actually having another one. So I'm guessing that one's going to have holes in it too. So yeah, it's very exciting. I really need to get out more. But yeah, isn't it beautiful? Looks like it's looking at me with one eye there. I've moved this little guy who I had on my kitchen windowsill because I was nurturing it back to health. This is a Syngonium, also known as an arrowleaf plant, and I think it's really quite beautiful. Yeah, it really died basically, and I've managed to save like a leaf or two, and yeah, it's come back to life really slowly. So I've put it in this hanging pot because I think that as it gets bigger it will trail over, but I just need to make sure I mist it regularly. I think that's the key to that one. And I've potted together some of the string of hearts, because I did have one in the hanger here, but I had gone pathetic and there was like 2 strings coming from it, and the ones in the pot hadn't done well either. So I've had a little rejig, it got rid of the dead stems, repotted it up again. That one, it doesn't do very well up there, but I don't really have anywhere else to put it. My sewing room one seems to do well, and that's hanging right in the window, but I don't have anywhere else to put that one, so it's just going to have to survive there, and I'll have to keep an eye on it. Oh, I keep getting those little plant flies, so annoying. This one here is a pothos, which is doing really well. I got this one as just a little cutting from one of my boyfriend's plants. No, not one of my boyfriends, as in I've got many boyfriends, as in my boyfriend's got many plants. And yeah, it's doing really well now. I did get it probably in the autumn, so they do go a bit dormant over winter, so they didn't put on a lot of growth. That applies to all the house plants. But now I'm getting another new leaf here. So yeah, I think I got this and I had maybe 3 leaves on it, and it's getting one here. So these can either climb or trail, so I'm going to let mine trail because I don't really have anywhere to put it to climb, but I think it'd be nice to see it trailing, and hopefully I'll manage to get it to bush out a bit at some point as well, but that would probably mean cutting it back at some point to let the growth get fuller. But I'm not ready to do that yet because it's so new. And here's another little beautiful new leaf coming. This one is one of the flamingo flowers. I can't remember what his proper name is. And I've no flowers, and if anyone's got any tips on how to get flowers, let me know. Although, as I've just said, it's been winter, so maybe it will come into its own in the better weather when it gets a bit warmer. I've got a really strange jade plant here. It is such a stringy one. Like, I gave that a really good haircut not that long ago, and it's just gone mad. It's not like the typical jades, which are a lot slower to grow. But I think that one is going to need a lot of haircuts. I've taken a couple of cuttings from that one and they've grown so fast. I'll show you those in a minute. And that is my string of hearts, which I took, I trimmed the one in the sewing room, I think, because it was getting too long. And
that one is doing really well. So I think what I've been doing wrong is burying the stems too deep, because you can just coil them and put them on the soil, and I've been, yeah, burying them too deep, so they just need to sit just on the top of the soil, I think. Finally, I've cracked it. Over on the dining room windowsill, I've got a pot of, well, these could be peppers or they could be chilies, we're not too sure. My boyfriend planted these up and I brought these ones home to put on, and he's got the other ones because he did sow chilies and he did sow peppers but didn't label them. So we've pinched the tops of these out and they're starting to put on a bit of new growth there, which is good. I've got a little pot here of chamomile, which is really sweet. Feels like it's growing really slowly, but it is a really delicate plant. I did take one out and I put it in the greenhouse in a little pot just to see if that's what it needed to grow a bit faster, and something came along and ate it overnight, so that's annoying. That is a weed. This compost is full of weeds. It's not very good. This was a little tub I got in Asda and it had a katsu curry in it, and I thought that is going to be a perfect little mini greenhouse. So I popped some holes in the lid there and it did really well. Although I'm sure I sowed loads more seeds, but they haven't all come up. But yeah, I'm hoping to be able to grow that outside. I did try and sow some in the ground 1 year, but again, it just got eaten. So I'm going to have to bring plants on a lot bigger before I plant them out. And I've got one of these little propagation trays and it has like the lid, but I just find, I don't know if everything gets too hot because it never works very well for me. Maybe it would have been better outside in the greenhouse, I don't know. But this is some lavender coming up, and you can see the true leaves, which are these ones, the first real leaves, look like lavender, and if I brush them gently, they've even got a little bit of scent to them already, which is amazing. So that is seeded, growing really well actually. I don't always have luck with lavender. It grows fine in between the cracks in my patio. I've got one down there and it's doing really well, and I'm going to leave it to get a bit bigger and then I'll put it in a pot. But guaranteed by the time I put it in a pot, it won't be happy in a pot. It likes poor drained soil, so it's probably happy in the crack there where there isn't a lot of soil. I did sow other stuff over here, petunias I think, which probably didn't need the heat to germinate, so probably the wrong thing to put in here. But I think things like lavender, maybe even like rosemary, hot herbs, and chilies and stuff would have preferred to be in here because it would have been hotter. But anyway, never mind. And my oxalis isn't looking too bad since I repotted it. I mean, it's not looking great, but it's not looking as bad as I thought. But hopefully all those corms that I did plant back in there will put on some new growth. Oxalis seem to do really well, and yeah, they do grow as weeds in a lot of places, but I think these ones are pretty. They close up, the leaves close up at night, and it gives you loads of flowers, so I'm happy to have it. And up here, I've got a lovely plant pot, which you can't see, it's got a gold heart on it. It's a lovely sedum, which I got from IKEA, and I split it, so I've got another one in my hallway, which looks quite different. This one, because it's hanging, has had all the room to come down. So I really like it. It likes a good spray, likes a good water. It's got loads of little air roots on there. So I did propagate one. That's been given away now, but I'll need to propagate some more. And yeah, that went through a spell of not looking great, but seems to be looking happy again now. So my windowsill is quite busy, but there's room for Tilly, don't worry. This is a little bird that I crocheted. I'm pretty sure it's from Attic 24. You'll get the free pattern on there. And I've got a beautiful sun catcher here, which when the sun comes in, it just puts prisms all over the wall. It's lovely. And the nice thing about it is that at different times of year, the prisms are in different places. Like the low sort of October sun brings them over that direction. And in the summer, I get them in that direction on the wall. So it's kind of a nice little, a poignant passing of time. That's rather poetic, isn't it? And I've got this one here, which I got years ago in a swap, like an Instagram swap. Do you remember people used to do them? They'd have like a themed swap or something. So I got this and I've just hung it there, and that catches the sun as well. I've got Tilly meowing because she wants to go outside.
The way you pull me near and whisper in that sweet voice. Just what I wanted, just what I needed. You pull me through, and I just love to hear you.
This is my mushrooms, or rather, it's not my mushrooms because there's nothing happening. I've had these tiny little mushrooms for ages, like months, but nothing's happening. I did get one big mushroom, which was delicious, and nothing's happening. So I don't know. Don't know if I've done something wrong. There's a lot of water sitting in there. It doesn't seem to be soaking into the soil very well. It's really weird. I've moved it into the kitchen just in case a little bit of extra light would help. I think those maybe are getting a little bit bigger. Because I did have it in my packing room, which is quite dark, but then I wasn't doing anything, so I don't know. If anyone's got any tips, you can let me know. But yeah, I'll keep you informed, see if anything happens. And the kitchen windowsill has my pelargonium on it, which I've given a bit of a trim because it gets a bit top heavy, and I took another cutting and I've popped it in the vase of cuttings. And yeah, these will grow really tall if you let them. We had them growing up the wall in the greenhouse at the palace, so if you tie them in, they will just keep growing up, and they looked absolutely stunning. And I've got the basil here that I separated the other day. I've got another string of hearts there which is not doing well, and I've got lots of little what do you call them? It's not a cutting, what is it? I've forgotten the word. I'm doing little, trying to grow little, what are they called? Oh, there's the window cleaner. I'm going to come back in a minute. This is my other sedum, which is growing in a completely different kind of way. Rather than growing all down the way, it's trying to grow back up again to get the light, but it's rather messy, so maybe could do with a haircut. And you can see again loads of those little air roots, so I'll be able to take some good cuttings from that one as well. Got my breakfast in my peanut butter jar. I did actually add in a little bit more peanut butter because there wasn't much left in the jar. This just means when you scrape out your breakfast, you get a little bit of peanut butter too. It's a good idea if you go out to work and take breakfast with you, or go anywhere, take breakfast with you, or even if you make it the night before and put it in the fridge. I've got muesli in here with milk and some blueberries. I quite like muesli, but the one that I've got is really boring, so I've pimped it up a bit and added in chopped nuts, some seeds, and I've added in more oats because it's really full of like bran, and I didn't find it particularly pleasant to eat. But yeah, I'm not by that one in future. Maybe I need to look into making my own, but I like to make muesli up and leave it to sit for a little bit. Oh, there's coconut in there too. Yeah, let it sit for a bit so it all soaks in, and then it's quite a nice texture. So I'm going to have my brekkie, and I'm going to get off to the gym this morning, so I will see you on the other side. I managed to film some blue tits who were building a nest in my bird box up here about a month ago, and I've been watching them, and for the past maybe week, 10 days, I just haven't seen them anymore, so I'm feeling really sad that they've maybe gone. But they definitely built a nest, and they were still going in it even up to the beginning of May, which is the time that they should be laying their eggs. So I am wondering if there's any eggs in it that have been abandoned. But it makes me sad that they've gone. I think they've gone. I've set up my camera a few times on the tripod and left it to run just so that I could keep an eye on it, but I've seen absolutely nothing coming or going. And usually I would have seen the blue tits in this tree a lot, and I just haven't. Even though it's full of leaves, I would still know that they were there. So I'm really sad at that. I was looking forward to having little babies in the garden and seeing them with their babies. So I don't know what's happened. We do have squirrels. The squirrels could have frightened them off. Could have been Tilly, of course. I don't know, but yeah, it was so exciting to have seen them and so sad now that they're not there.
I'm just getting a quick snack before I pop out. I'm going to go to Matalan. I really need some new trousers, cropped trousers for the gym. The ones I had on yesterday were falling down constantly. They were really annoying. They were like, not because they were too small, but they're really, they sit really low on the waist or the hips, but because I've got quite curvy hips, they just didn't want to stay over my hips. And yeah, a lot of the other ones, or I've got a couple of other short pairs, but they were just doing the same. I need ones that have got quite a high waist to come over my hips and tummy and stay up. They were a nightmare the other day, so I'm going to go and have a look in Matalan. I would also like to get some nice dresses. I'd really like a nice like tea dress, but I can't find anything that flatters my figure. I've got quite a curvy figure, and I don't know, I just feel like everything's made for people who have no curves, and I don't feel like they're flattering on me, so I'm gonna have a look there. Does anybody have one of those mango cutter things? Are they worth it, or are they just a gimmick? I mean, it's a bit of a pain cutting up a mango, isn't it?
Lost again, going back around, dreaming of a time when I get things right. Lost in the shadows of a million stars. Shouldn't they enlighten my near and far? Shouldn't they at all just tell me where you are? Send a prayer if I'm out of luck. Send a little love and I'll make it back. Send me a letter and a bottle of wine, telling me I will be fine. Baby, I'm stuck with a halfway heart. Slip away if I come too far. Pick me up when I'm in pieces. Oh, that halfway heart of mine is a rolling stone. Make me roll right home. Halfway hard, halfway hard. Sing to me if I lose my voice. Set a better route if I lose my course. Count on my company and I will come. Save me when I am falling. Save me when I am falling. Save my love when I fall. Baby, I'm stuck with a halfway heart. Slip away if I come too far.
It's Wednesday the 22nd of May. I am just back from Matalan. Just sort myself out here all untucked. I spent over an hour in there. Don't quite know how. I think it was probably trying on loads of stuff in the changing rooms, but I picked up lots of things thinking, I'll just see what it looks like, and I didn't really like any of them. A lot of stuff depends on your body shape. I'm quite curvy, have curves and a big chest, and a lot of stuff is just made for people with no curves, I think. Like if they've got a lot of detail on the clothes, it just doesn't work when you've got curves. It works if you have got quite a straight, flat figure. I liked the denim shorts that I think I showed in the video at the beginning. I really liked those, but they just, I felt huge. They were quite flary and didn't feel like they were flattering. I do feel like more fitted clothes suit me better. The dress was nice, but it was just, there was so much dress, so much fabric. I'm just not used to wearing stuff like that, so unless I was going to like a summer party or a summer occasion, yeah, I just wouldn't wear that. But it was nice to try it on. I thought I'd try it and see what it's like on, because I do see stuff, and I see stuff on other people that looks nice, and I think, I wonder what it would look like. I do also like the idea of like an ankle length skirt, but being so short, I've always thought it would just drown me. But I tried on the spotty one and I didn't hate it. I quite liked it. I think I'd like something like that for summer, but it was completely see-through. You can see my pants through it, so it wasn't the best colour. Maybe something plainer and more neutral that would go with lots of stuff I already had. But I thought that they would drown me because I'm only 5'4", but it was fine. I did get what I went in for, which is some gym leggings, cropped gym leggings. I didn't see the ones that I saw online. They had ones with a nice pattern online, but I didn't see them in the shop. And they had loads of long length ones, full length ones, but it's too hot for that just now. So I got just a plain black pair. This seems to be the little thing, 3 dots. Plain black pair, which are lovely and soft, really nice fabric, and they come quite high up, which is what I like, and they're quite comfortable. And I got this patterned ones here. I don't have a lot of patterned leggings. I mean, mine are all actually plain, but I love patterned gym leggings. And Sweaty Betty does some gorgeous ones, but oh my god, the price tags, I can justify that. So got these ones. These have got one of those phone pockets, which I wouldn't be using, but lovely fabric again. So they were 11 and they were 14, I think, so I'm really happy with that, because obviously like designer branded sportswear would have been more than that for just one pair, I think. And I couldn't resist this pretty little top. I really liked it. Love a ditzy floral, as you know, and yeah, if I can wear one, even better. And I thought it was quite flattering. I know loads of you will be saying I could make that, and I could make that. I don't know how. I know that you can make patterns by laying your clothes out and cutting around them. This one, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's very nice, and this was £8, and that will go nice with jeans or shorts, and allow me to work on my tan as well, because it's got the wee thin straps, but I like that. I did try on a couple of pairs of shorts? No, 1 pair of shorts, 2 skirts. I didn't like the short skirt at all. It was very clingy, and I'm not too comfortable with my tummy at the moment. It was clinging right to my tummy and did not look good at all, and yeah, wasn't that keen on it. What else did I try on? So a top, yeah, didn't quite. Again, too frilly and flouncy for my figure, but it's pretty and I love the look of stuff like that. Because I spent so long in there, I got home and it was like past lunchtime and I was ravenous, because all I had was that mango after the gym. So I had a nice ham salad roll. I got tiger rolls last night to go with dinner. I didn't have one with my dinner because I was quite full up, but I had one for lunch and it was really nice, and fought the urge to have crisps because I like crisps when I have a sandwich, but I didn't have crisps, and I'm quite satisfied now actually. It's very filling, but I would like to have a coffee or a tea. So I'll give it half an hour and then I'll go and get something to drink. The only problem with hot drinks is, to me, a hot drink needs to go hand in hand with a biscuit or chocolate or something nice and nibbly. So I shall try and resist the urge. I will resist the urge because I feel like I'm in the zone now. Once I'm in the zone, that's it. I'm locked in, and I'm locked in now. I had an energy ball last night. They were really nice. Because the chia seeds are in them, they soak up a lot of liquid. So again, they got sort of drier as they set. So yeah, turned out nice and a nice texture. I could have one of them if I need something with my coffee, or I've got strawberries and blueberries and grapes, and I've got my apples. I've not had apple and peanut butter yet, which I would like to have at some point. I think I better get on with some work.